The Clemson Experimental Forest is a vast area of land and shoreline that wraps around campus. It touches 3 counties, has 100 miles of shoreline on Lake Hartwell, and overall is
over 18,000 acres of forested land.
The Clemson Experimental Forest is just an extremely valuable asset. It's a unique feature of this institution. We looked at other universities while we were studying how to manage this forest into the future. And truly across the United States, there are no major universities that have such a large forest resource immediately adjacent to the campus. So it's a signature part of Clemson University that, interestingly enough, many people don't even know.
So about 100 years ago, a lot of this country was overused. And as a result, a lot of the upstate was heavily deforested and eroded, and the farmers living here were not getting much out of the land at all. There were thousands of acres of land here that were purchased under the Bankhead-Jones Act. And that was really the seed of the future Clemson Experimental Forest. And forest managers over the decades reestablished forest on those depleted lands. And it's really because of them and their efforts, generations of students, generations of foresters, that we have the forest today that we enjoy. Research in the Clemson Experimental Forest really spans many different disciplines.
And the Clemson Experimental Forest is a fantastic resource for us to set up experiments and demonstration sites to help individuals see best practices in forestry. It's also a great place for training our students, who then become professionals in forestry, wildlife resources, and other disciplines.
So the thing I like most about the Clemson Experimental Forest, which is actually essential to my work here at Clemson, is that it's big, it's close, and it is for research, which is a unique opportunity nationwide, actually, of having such a large property adjacent to campus to enable an array of different experimental initiatives that can be large scale to have high impacts on thinking about how our forests work.
I use the floor of the Clemson Forest to bring plants into my lab. The plant taxonomy lab teaches students how to identify plants. So these are important specimens that help students appreciate plants and also learn how to observe and identify plants in the field.
The Clemson Experimental Forest for the Virtual Reality and Nature Lab provide an exceptional place. So we find people who have lost their connection to favorite places, the Clemson Experimental Forest. So for David, a lot of the same trails he remembers walking with his students still exist today, so that we are able to capture it and re-gift this virtual nature back. The Clemson Experimental Forest is truly a magical place that lets us really tell the stories of those who have enjoyed it.
I'm so happy to be involved with Matt and Olivia. It was just like being there. You could see all around you, you could hear the sounds of birds. We went out on the Clemson Forest up around Lake Issaquena. It was nice, it was fun, it was worthwhile. I would encourage everybody that gets a chance to do this, to do that. It was quite an experience.
We want to encourage more research and teaching in the forest as the primary activities. And to that end, we're increasing our research infrastructure. Along with that, we're also trying to increase and improve our use infrastructure for recreation. Clemson Experimental Forest is used by thousands of people every year from the local community, in addition to students and faculty from campus.
general consensus among the users in the Clemson Experimental Forest is that this area, this asset, is truly a hidden gem right inside of Clemson. Between the areas down at Fayance Grove and right here up here at Issaquena, there's over 100 miles of trails that get used every day. I love it here. I've lived in this area for nearly 30 years. I've raised 3 boys here, and my wife and I, we started coming here when we moved here 27 years ago, and it's year-round. I mean, this is a place that you can come and enjoy in all 4 seasons.
Before I started mountain biking here, I was hiking here with my family. That's when I first came to the Experimental Forest. When my family moved here, we realized, wait, there's so many more opportunities to be outside here than in the Midwest. There's more waterfalls, the elevation obviously is very different. And mountain biking here, it's a good way to clear your head, is to go for a bike ride.
You can get really every aspect of a ride you want to target. It can be in bright pine forests, and you almost always hear the trickle of water in the background from all the creeks that run through here.
The Clemson Experimental Forest really provides a great opportunity for what is typically a one-man sport or a one-woman sport, just a rider and their horse, to kind of share in the camaraderie of riding with other people, enjoying riding together on the trails in the forest, enjoying spending time with other like-minded people, and having several horses riding together.
There's a group, the South Carolina Upstate Equine Council, that has several members that utilize the forest for recreational trail riding. It's kind of a big social event.
Over the past century, the forest has relied on timber harvest to help with expenses.
We can experiment. We can do things that we otherwise couldn't do on any commercial forest land. We're trying to generate a healthy forest. Taking out trees, thinning trees, and creating a large enough spacing helps us maintain healthy trees. Healthy trees mean a healthy forest, and then hopefully we have a healthy ecosystem that prevents our forest in the Clemson Experimental Forest from being attacked by pests, disease, anything like that. Without harvesting on the Clemson Experimental Forest, you start getting really dense forests. And with healthy forests that are managed, where harvesting occurs, we should be able to prevent a lot of disease and then maintain the forest that we all know here in the Clemson Experimental Forest.
The upstate of South Carolina is rapidly increasing in population growth. It means there's a lot of new construction. That brings in a lot of new people and a lot of new pressures on our resources. So our trailheads are becoming fuller and fuller of people who aren't associated with the university directly, but are enjoying the resource of the Clemson Experimental Forest. That creates more pressures internally in the forest for us to manage our resources better. And in so doing, we need more resources to be able to meet those challenges. But all of this means we have to really recognize the intrinsic value of places such as the Clemson Experimental Forest. For many people, the Clemson Experimental Forest is a symbol of renewal. It's a symbol of the spirit of the people of the upstate who overcame many economic hardships and now are enjoying economic abundance. At the same time, there are fewer places for people to enjoy nature. The Clemson Forest regrew from largely being eroded or denuded fields through the careful efforts of the foresters to restore those landscapes. Clemson's in the forever business, and so we really want the forest to forever provide these resources to the people of the surrounding communities, but most especially our students and faculty into the future. We hope for your engagement in the future of the Clemson Experimental Forest.